What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Raislive, bringing you another video. So check it out. This is some epic gameplay video that I got in the background. This is Battlefield 4. Just look at the ass whooping that me and my squad was giving these guys. Like, I would feel bad for these guys if I wasn't as ruthless as I am. Like, I really would. But anyways, the topic of this video, Battlefield 5. What's going on? What's happening? And there's a lot of news that's going on. There's a lot of big things, a lot of rumors, a lot to talk about. But I'm going to talk about the main big things going on right now. So here's everything you need to know about Battlefield 5 so far. So, without a question, Battlefield 5 has been in development, and I'm going to show up on the screen now the tweet. This is from Mr. Vanderdan. It says, "Now that we've shipped Battlefront and part of the team continues to work on it, I am moving on to another project, the next Battlefield." Now this was in December 11, 2015, so this was a while ago, so this is a developer team for EA DICE, and yeah, he's been working on Star Wars Battlefront. And yeah, I mean, what else there to work on, after Battlefront? It gotta be the next Battlefield, right? Correct. So as for a release date, of course, EA DICE, they haven't confirmed anything. They haven't said anything in specific details. They haven't even said, what's the current theme for the next Battlefield game. We don't even know that yet. We don't even know if it's going to be Battlefield 5. It could be Bad Company. We don't even know that. But there's a lot of rumors that's going around. There's a lot of big things, a lot of things people are talking about. It's so big that even the big channels and networks or whatever are talking about, like the IGNs and whatnot, are actually talking about this. And the topic is Battlefield World War I rumors. Could that be? Could Battlefield 5, the next Battlefield game, be a World War I game? That's crazy, right? Now that changes everything. This is why I feel like this is a really big deal, because a lot of people who been playing first-person shooters, and I'm speaking from like all first-person shooters. I mean, the Halos, the Call of Duties, Star Wars, everything. A lot of these games have all been futuristic, and a lot of people are complaining about it. Like, man, I'm tired of these futuristic, first-person shooters, man. Like, it was cool when you had like the Halo was like your first-person shooter that you go to, and it was perfectly fine for Halo to be like that, because that's the role it started in. It started off as this futuristic type of shooter, so it was fine. Same thing with like Killzone. Well, Killzone was like in between. I felt like the new Killzone, Shadowfall, was a little too much, but Killzone 1 and 2 was okay. 3, but yeah. I just felt like, they kind of went a little too far, but, they kind of had like a futuristic type vibe to them a little bit, to a certain degree. But for the most part, all the games that were traditionally modern has like jumped ship, has went to this futuristic role, It's like, it's crazy. And a lot of people are just, really tired of it. They're kind of like, damn, man, why everybody just copying each other? Where's our modern, warfare type of game, Nobody wants to be in the future anymore. Like, we're tired of that. Like, we got games specifically for those themes and those roles. We don't need every single game being futuristic. So this is why the whole public has been, wanting Call of Duty next game to be a World War game, specifically World War I, because World War II was Call of Duty World at War. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was another World War game, and to me that was an epic game. I thought it was one of my favorite Call of Duty games. A lot of people kind of like passed on it, because that was around the time when Call of Duty was like getting big. It was Modern Warfare, the first one, just Modern Warfare. I don't know how it was called. I don't know if it was 4, because Modern Warfare 3. No, it was just Modern Warfare, and World at War came out the following year. And then, when Modern Warfare 2 came out, it was over, man. It was crazy. Like, that's when it peaked. Everybody was like, oh my God, this is the best freaking game ever, man. It was crazy, man. If you was around from that time, that era, and you was playing, man, those were the good days, man. Those were definitely the best days for first person shooters, because we had that balance. You had all those different games, you know, so if you got sick of one game, you could just go to another one. Well, nowadays everybody's just picking a side because all the games are kind of like the same thing now. So, you know, everybody's been talking about that. So, you know, with the recent of Black Ops 3 or whatever, everybody's been saying like, hey man, Call of Duty, you guys need to take it back. You know, it's just too much for me. I can't really get into this. It's just too much. Now, the reason why I think this is really, really interesting is because Battlefield doing it kind of, I don't know, I mean, kind of changes everything. This kind of changes a lot, because if Battlefield makes the World War game, does that mean Call of Duty isn't going to make the World War game? You know, does that just automatically substitute that? Does that says, hey, you know what? Well, that's it. Call of Duty has this chance. Or is this EA and DICE? Are they like going that route? Are they saying, hey, you know what? Let's give the people what they want, since our competitors ain't doing it. You know, let's try to, you know, garner the community to come from us, you know. So maybe, you know, they could be throwing shots at, you know, Call of Duty. Who knows, man? But it does make things interesting, man. Like, I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen now, because I personally, you know, like I said in my last previous video, not my previous one from this one, but you know, a couple videos back, I said that I wanted Call of Duty to go back to World at War, you know, take it back to its roots. But being that it's looking like Battlefield might be doing that, you know. And like I said, it's not set in stone. Like, we don't know for sure. You know, EA hasn't come out directly and said, hey, you know, this is what we're gonna make. So, you know, we don't know for sure. But that's just a big rumor. Like, everybody's talking about. Like I said, like the bigger YouTube channels, the bigger networks, whatever, are talking about it. So it's not something that's just being made out of thin air. It's pretty much, there might be some factual truth behind it, you know. But yeah, man. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was, is the like, how does this change Battlefield, man? Like, I mean, because this is gonna, like, because all the things that I wanted from the next Battlefield game. Remember how I was saying, like, man, you know, we need to have the ability to cook grenades, and tanks are just a little bit too overpowering. Like, there should be something where, you know, if the RPG should do a little more damage, just something to help balance it out. You remember that video I made? Like, if you take it back to World at War, I mean, this changes everything, man. Because like, the standard of warfare back then is a lot different than now. Like, I would have to make an entire different video for that, like, to say like the things that I would like to see in it. Because if you were fortunate enough to play Call of Duty World at War, you would know like how different it was, and how, even though the gameplay elements was the same, but just the weaponry was really different, and the story mode was excellent too. And this is another thing too, I'm kind of excited for. Like, me personally, I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's gonna be, if they do decide to go this route, I think it will be cool. It's a good little twist. I mean, they did the little Vietnam thing back in the day with Battlefield Bad Company, and that was a success. A lot of people liked it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play it because my PS3 was, you know, having some problems, whatever, where I was downloading stuff where I had to like be careful about what I downloaded or whatever. So I never got a chance to like play it or whatever. And eventually, you know, my PS3 crashed or whatever. But that's, you know, a whole other topic, whatever. But yeah, I never really got a chance to like really sit down and play with it, because I was nervous. I was like, man, if I download it, you know, it's gonna make my PS3 crash or whatever. So I heard it was great. It looked like it was good. I was really interested in playing it. But we ended up getting Black Ops. And Black Ops kind of had like a little bit of Vietnam missions in there. So, excuse me. You know, I wasn't really just left out in the dark. You know, I still had that little Vietnam little moment. But I do love those old school warfare type of games, because it's just, I feel like it makes the story a lot better. Like, you have a lot more to work with, because the story can be more dark and more gritty and more impactful, more emotion towards it. Because back then, you know, the warfare was really, really gruesome, man. Like, we didn't have, like, nowadays, if you know, like, the standard of warfare is a lot different than it was back in the day. You know, back in the day, we didn't really have that many rules of war. There was just pretty much anything goes. Like, back then you had flamethrowers. Nowadays flamethrowers are illegal. You had napalm strikes. You know, napalm strikes is basically when you when a plane goes over, drops these bombs, and these bombs are like, have like this liquid, fiery lava type substance, and it pretty much just burns up everybody and burns their flesh or whatever. I mean, it's just gruesome, man. That was the kind of stuff that they used in Vietnam. So yeah, those are the type of things that they had back in the day, and it just gives a whole different new impact on warfare. Like, it really makes you feel like, whoa, man. Because I feel like nowadays with the Modern Warfare or the Call of Duty games, like the Modern Warfare as well as Battlefield 4, I feel like these games kind of like made it cool to be a soldier to a certain degree. Like, a lot of people were like, oh man, this is pretty cool, man. You know, this is you know, this is how it is, how people are, you know, out there fighting wars. Like, this is like how it is, but it's really not. Like, it's really not like that. I really felt like Call of Duty, World at War, and the Vietnam by Battlefield, Bad Company or whatever, that I felt like those were games where they kind of captured that warfare, that gruesome warfare side that nobody really wants to talk about, or really nobody, you know, shows on TV or whatever. They always show like the cool stuff or whatever, but they don't really show like the how your limbs get blown off and people being burnt up. And I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, go on YouTube. A lot of them are like up here. Go look up some Vietnam war stories, man. It's some sad stuff. Me personally, I had my grandpa, he fought in the Vietnam War, as well as I used to work with people at my job who fought in the Vietnam War. And a lot of these guys still have problems to this day from all the problems from the warfare back then, because of the standard was so different. Like, there's guys who had like their legs, they got like plates in their legs and plates in their arms, and they're missing limbs and just all kind of stuff. And we can't even like go into like the psychological aspect of it, because the psychological aspect is even far more worse, because something that I can't even, you know, fathom or even think about, because I don't know what it's like, you know, just have to be, I don't know, be out there, you know, in a trench warfare, and then your friend just dies in front of you, and he doesn't die like in a way where he gets shot, but he gets like blown up into pieces or whatever, or he's sitting there burning and you can't do nothing about it because, you know, you at war or whatever, you know. That's just crazy, man. It's just really sad. I mean, I know it sounds depressing, but it really does grab you in, and I feel like it's almost like a historical type of teaching toward it too. I feel like a lot of video games nowadays, they kind of like, you know, expose people to certain things a lot of people won't find interesting or even dare to looking, because they just wasn't really something that they're talk about. You know, it's kind of one of those things that was shunned by the community or shunned in the family. But because of video games, you're kind of more aware of the situation. You kind of like want to look into it more. Like, you know, like for example, just guns in general. Like, guns are kind of like spooky. It's kind of like, oh my god, guns. You know, nobody really wants to talk about guns or own guns. But like nowadays, because like the Call of Duties or whatever, a lot of guns are like popular amongst people now. A lot of people are like more fans of it. A lot of people are buying guns and, you know, going out shooting and just having more sport, you know, more sport activities with firearms or whatever. So like, it's pretty cool, you know, what like there's a good and bad things with video games. And those are like one of the good things about video games, that it kind of like, you know, bring back those cultural events that happen in our world or whatever. But yeah, I know I'm going on forever about that, but yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for I really hope that it's, you know, a World War I game, but we don't know, man. Like, we don't know. Like I said, until I hear it from EA themselves, I can't really say that it is for sure. But if it is, man, I'm super excited. What I think might happen, I think we might get like something from E3. They might even confirm it earlier, but we won't see any details until like E3. I feel like this year's E3 2016 is gonna be epic, man. Like, I really think it's gonna be super duper dope. It's gonna be a lot of games, man. It's gonna be for this E3. It's gonna be really dope, and I can't wait for it. But yeah, man, I think I pretty much hit everything. Yeah, so many stuff, man. Yeah, so yeah, I'm super excited for it. I mean, what else can I talk about with some things that I would like to see? Like I said, like, on my last video, one of the main things that's really cool about the World War days, I would like to see. I've been saying this a lot, you know, the gore, man. They can just bring back that gore, man. That will really like help draw you into the game a little more and make it more epic. It's like, damn, oh man, it just blew up my buddy, man. That's crazy, man. You know, so like, hopefully they will bring it back, man. I don't know why it seems like it's almost like taboo to a certain degree. Like, a lot of companies don't really want to go there, but I mean, except for like the bloody, gory, extravagant games, you know, they do it like the Gods of War or whatever. But like, I want to see more first-person shooters do that. I feel like Call of Duty was the only game that really like touched on it for a little bit, and then after that, they fell back from it. So who knows, man? But that's all I want to talk about. It's your boy Raislive. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys on my next video. I'm out. Peace.